everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Arun Tukral. I'm a life and a leadership coach. And today, this topic of senior leadership interview, I'm going to again put up some of my thoughts on some of the very pertinent questions that may be of interest to you. And today, we will talk about change management. I think in change management is one of the core responsibility at the senior most level of leadership, because this is what is expected at the top level. So when you are applying for a job in any organization, the organization on the other side or the leadership board on the other side is very keen to see that whether you are as a leader able to embrace change, had done similar things in the past, how did you do that, what process did you follow, and what was the impact of the change that you created. And this is actually one of the very, very core role of a senior leader. In fact, to my surprise, when I do my training programs and when I ask leaders that how many of you are really looking forward to bring a change in your organization, a lot of people raise their hand. But when I ask my follow-up question that how many of you are able to do it, a lot of hands goes down. And the primary reason is that people feel that it's not easy to bring change because you have to take so much of pain, so much of effort in bringing a lot of stakeholders together to ensure that the change process is completed. Well, let's focus on some of the core question of the interview and also see one or two examples that how you can talk about the change process. So if a question comes like this, tell me about the change that you have brought. How did you do that? What was the impact of it? And how did you manage that change? I think the best way is to always give examples when you are answering any questions like this. So you can say something like that. When I joined the organization 2 years back, it was an exciting time because everyone was looking forward to achieving their numbers, their objectives, and the organization was already in a high performance zone. And when I joined, my core role was to carry on the momentum and ensure that the organization doesn't fall down on its objective. But post my joining, after 3 months, there was a sudden change. The senior leadership at the global level mentioned that they are about to launch some series of products in the next 6 months, and they want the team to upgrade and become more agile rather than a bit of laid back or in a comfortable zone, which means people need to be equipped with new products, product knowledge, new skills, and upgrade their existing customer list so that they are ready for the bigger launches that are coming on the way. And that was a very sudden change that the organization was about to have, because over the years this organization had the legacy of brands which were running on their own, and the customers, the employees, the support staff, the sales team, the marketing team, they were all in their comfort zone because everything was happening on its own. And when I took over and when I learned that this is the change that they are going to have, it was a very, very big thing. Now, once I understood that this is going to take place, I sat down, I started working on a plan by involving some of the key stakeholders in my team who are having very high influence and also who have a lot of interest in growing this organization. With them, I made up a plan for the next 3 months, the kind of products that are likely to come, which are more complex and which are more important to the market, and what kind of training needs that the employees at all level would be required. Maybe the backend team would require more agility in customer service, whereas the front-end sales team need to know that how to handle big customers and handle big volumes. And once we zeroed in on what are the kind of training interventions we need to do, we also worked around our capacity in terms of the stock holdings, the kind of marketing campaigns that we are going to do. And for that also, we need to equip our marketing team with new skills and new knowledge on our products as well as on the strategies. Not only that, I also sat with the HR team because we wanted the best talent on our side from the competition. And again, we started working towards those plans. And all of a sudden, the biggest challenge that I faced, that all the people, though they were like-minded, they were feeling very, very uncomfortable because they were never attuned to the speed and agility that I was expecting, because we had to turn around a lot. And that was the time that I decided that we are going to have an offsite meeting where we will set up our goals clearly. I will take them through what is my vision. And in order to do that, I also engaged my senior leadership team from global side. We brought few consultants from outside to tell people that what kind of change process that we are going to do. And in that entire 15 days to 1 month, we were able to overcome some of our barriers, some of our challenges. And of course, there were very, very big roadblocks. For example, that there was some fixed mindset of some of the people which was becoming very, very pertinent, that they were not comfortable about it. And I had to take some hard calls in spite of my best efforts. Once they were not coming up to the mark, either I had to take second in command from their team to come forward and take the lead. And in some cases, just 1 or 2 cases, I even had to take some hard calls of asking them to move out of the organization. So as change is not an easy process, I went through all this process, and in 4 months' time, we were ready as a team, not only just to launch a product, but also see that how we can make that launch successful. And in this process, a lot of leaders started to emerge who were never there before, because new opportunities were getting open up for many people. And then you can add few numbers, few data points, few timelines, that how did you do that? Now, going by this process, you can summarize it that while you were undergoing and you were making a lot of things change, you also learned that you also evolved as a person, and you started to become more adaptable, more open to people to welcome them. And that's how you also grew as a leader, where people really admire you and they look forward to you. Now imagine if you give an answer something like this, it brings a lot of clarity, credibility, and also your control on the subject that you are talking about. Well, this is just a small attempt to give you a flavor of what you can think of about change. So what you need to do when you go back in your preparation, make a note of some of the changes that you have gone through. It can be related to an employee development. It can be related to bringing a new process. Let's say your organization is trying to digitalize a lot of things, or it can also be some new launches, or it can be a turnaround that your organization wants from your existing business to the next level business. And how did you bring that change? And suppose if you have not done that, you look up to your leaders around you. What did they do? What kind of process that they follow? And that will give you a lot of confidence if you have to answer a question like this. Hope it gives you more confidence, it gives you more clarity. But still, if you want more clarity, you can write me back on my email ID arun.thukral@hcnconnect.in. I'll be more than happy to respond. Thanks a lot.